Hello everyone and welcome to another Feed Army video. My name is Emmanuel and today we have some great news for the Shopify migration from the Shopify API or the Content API to the Merchant API. That originally we mentioned that the product IDs will change. So from the country code, for example, Shopify_GP for the UK, changes to Shopify_ZZ. And there have been evidence that this is causing issues. However, it only is an issue when you reinstall the app, and that is a current bug. So what we were all experiencing was actually the cause of uninstalling and reinstalling the app and not the migration itself. Because I have having users mentioning to me that, look, I've already migrated to the Merchant API a month ago, for example, but the product IDs have not changed. And I've investigated and looked into the account and I found it so strange and it didn't make any sense. So here's an account where the Merchant API, as you can see, is already migrated, as well as the Content API, but that's because of the language itself. So you can see the original is still in Danish and the user has not uninstalled the app, so that's why it's still showing as Content API. But we can see that in English the Merchant API and has all the products, and we can see that the feed label is the same. Now the important thing is to check the product ID itself. So when we click on here, we can see that it is the country code, which is amazing news. Because this is what the main issue was. When you uninstall the app, it changes to Shopify_ZZ. So if we have a look at another account where the merchant has uninstalled and reinstalled the application, so the Google and YouTube application, we can see the Merchant API is enabled. And if we go and have a look at the products itself, we can see that all the products are now ZZ, and that is the main issue. So when you uninstall and reinstall the application, you will see ZZ instead of, for example, here where it should stay DK when you're using the application. So here's where I get the confirmation from. This is Ginny Marvin, who is a Google Ads product liaison. So this is actually a post from Martinique, and he was referencing one of my details regarding the change of the product IDs and referenced Ginny to have a look at this. And finally, we got the official news. So this is official news. We are allowed to say this is official because Ginny is from Google. So thanks for flagging this. The team has looked into it, and I wanted to clarify some confusion around the upcoming Merchant API migration and Shopify product IDs. So the Merchant API migration is underway. This is a standard Google transition for all Content API users, which does not rewrite product IDs. Impacted API users have been notified directly with migration resources to the API. And the API migration deadline is August 18th. So no action is required on your end. If you use the Google and YouTube app on Shopify, you do not need to uninstall and reinstall it. Actually, there should be a note: definitely do not uninstall and reinstall. So because further down she explains why. The API transition is handled automatically. So here is the big important news. Product ID changes are separate. Reinstalling the app is what currently triggers the ID formatting change, leading to a loss in historical performance stats. This is a separate bug impacting a small number of merchants, and we are actively deploying a fix in the coming weeks. We recommend leaving your app connected as is. However, the issue is, so this is my website where I mentioned about how to install conversion tracking for Shopify. Is that I've known the issue for a year now, and I have mentioned it to Google why this happens, but I never got a reply. So unfortunately, this is nothing new. This is an issue that's nearly a year old. So it's a little bit sad that it's only now being looked at for a fix to be implemented. That just goes to show how big Google is and how big of an issue something small can be, but doesn't get to the right team. And it takes a lot of effort to get Google to fix something that has been an issue for more than a year. So while the end result is great just in time, but it does mean all those merchants, because I had quite a lot of merchants that uninstalled the app, has had this issue. So now they're stuck with a product ID that is ZZ. Let's move on and be excited that at least for the other merchants, this is all resolved and we can not worry about the deadline of the 18th of August, that it will mess up your product IDs. As long as you don't uninstall the app, you're fine. So that's it. I want to thank Martinique for referencing, tagging me here, because otherwise I would have not noticed maybe that Genie has updated this information. So great work, everybody. Thank you very much for getting the community updated. This is very good news. I hope this has been helpful. Thank you very much, and I'll see you in the next one.